Good afternoon, everybody. It's your girl, Lily Mae, and you already know what time it is. It's consulting time. But today, you're going to get a little bit of all things authentic because we are sitting here with Mr. Self-Made D. Brown. Mr. Brown, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Now, let's dive right in. We know that there is something spectacular coming up on Friday. So tell us a little bit about what that spectacular event and launch is all about.
Sure. So Friday is a celebration of my 50th birthday, but coupled with that is the launch of my new clothing line, which is Self-Made D. Brown CEO. And so Friday will feature entertainment. It will feature a fashion show that display a lot of the work that we have produced. And it would also feature a pop-up shop that will allow the guests an opportunity to buy Self-Made D. Brown CEO custom wear.
Self-made. Okay, let's talk about self-made now. There is a significance to self-made. Talk to us a little bit about why self-made is so significant to you.
Well, it's very significant because I came from a rural Mississippi Delta town, single mother, so had no advantages in life, had no pre-funded bank account or pre-funded college tuition, and so I had to get out and use my work ethics, my intellect, my ingenuity to create opportunity for myself. And then I had to take those opportunities and take advantage of those and be successful with them to essentially get to where I'm at today.
Absolutely. Now, when we talk about self-made, I know that you decided that you weren't going to utilize the fruits of your success to go out and buy lavish things. You bought something that is held in great esteem by many people. What is that you purchased?
So I purchased a 100-foot super yacht named Self-Made, and I keep that yacht in Florida. It's also part of a charter business that we run, so we do charter the yacht to the public when we're not using it for personal use. But essentially, the yacht is part of our brand. It's the part of our brand that represents the opportunities that this country offers. It represents the goals and dreams that people set that can be achieved if they're willing to work for it.
Absolutely. Entrepreneur, motivational speaker, author, and we're also going to call you a media personality because you have a podcast and you have some other things forthcoming. But I want to key in on the philanthropy. We already know that this fashion segment, this launch, this event, this debut is forthcoming.
Yes.
But you also have some philanthropic endeavors at play right now, one of which is near and dear to my heart. You were recently appointed, was it Director of Public and Private Partnerships along with the National Bar Association?
So yes, I was appointed as the National Policy Advisor on Public-Private Partnerships and Urban Redevelopment for the National Bar Association.
Okay.
And I was also awarded with the National Bar Association Congressional Black Caucus Corporate Philanthropy Award for my work, particularly in the HBCU space.
What does it mean to you right now to be an entrepreneur in a world where everybody classifies themselves as an entrepreneur? It's not to discount anybody's endeavors, but it's clear that you have used your talents and your determination and your drive to give back versus to take or receive so much. So what does it mean to you to be an entrepreneur right now and with this capacity?
Sure. So this is something that I've spoke on numerous times. I believe that it's important as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, that you do not totally focus on enriching yourself. Part of your corporate philosophy has to be on, number one, the individuals that work for you, that actually contribute to your success. And then number two, the communities in which you operate in that actually enrich you. And so what I found is that my winning formula is that when I built my business and my corporate model, it was predicated upon that a certain percentage of the revenue that we generate is going to be reinvested into my employees, into my staff. And so all of my employees have 401ks, We do dollar for dollar match on 401k, which is virtually unheard of, up to 25% of income. So essentially you could come to work, and once you're eligible for 401k, after about 90 days, you can get a 25% pay increase just by contributing to your 401k because we match dollar for dollar. In addition to that, free health care for employees. How can an employee function at the highest level if they have to worry about how they're going to take care of health care needs, right? So we do 100% for employees, 50% for family on health care. And that's vision, it's dental, medical, the whole nine. And then it's back to the communities. So you go into the community and you're able to operate and be successful. And so you take so much from that community. And so what we do is look for ways to give back to that community. And so that's whether it's through scholarships to colleges and universities within that community, whether it's part of our Attack on Hunger program, whether it's other donations that we give to a variety of agencies and organizations throughout the community. We think that that's a critical piece of us being successful as a company, because so often that the owners of the company look at how can I just take and enrich myself, and then you have employees that are wondering how they're going to pay their light bills, how they're going to pay their utility bills. Right? So what we want to do is create an environment where people that come to work for us can retire wealthy. If you come young, stay late, you'll retire wealthy.
So I'm hearing a couple of things. I'm hearing education.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing financial literacy. But I'm also hearing that you're a bold leader. And you took your allotment, which you said wasn't much, but obviously you came from such a good stock, a great stock, that you were able to take that little bit and create something massive. And we are so honored to be able to even sit here and have this conversation about all things authentic.
Yes.
Now, let's step into what's next, because you have a lot of things brewing. You have a lot of initiatives, but your training speaks volumes. So where do you foresee Self-Made Dee Brown in the next 5 to 10 years?
Sure. So, our conglomerate of companies, we feel over the next 5 years would be $1 billion corporation. We're on track on all of our projections to get there. But we're looking at, obviously, we're launching the television series, Self-Made, the talk show, featuring individuals that are going to come from ordinary circumstances and go on to achieve great success. We're also in the early stages of development for the Self-Made Dee Brown CEO Tequila that should launch in the fall of 2022. And we're launching an insurance division, actually, which will be based out of Georgia, here out of the Metro Atlanta area, that will cover all of our insurance needs so that we don't outsource all of that to third-party companies going forward. And we're just looking at ways that we can diversify our revenue, diversify our opportunities. And really it's just about taking every opportunity and squandering it, and not squandering it, taking every opportunity and using it to the fullest potential. And so you talked about coming from good soil, good seeds, or whatever. I do a little talk every Thursday called Thank God It's Thursday. And so one of those I talked about bad soil. And so for me, this is important because most of the time, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, people operate within their comfort zone. If you're from Atlanta, then you want to start your business in Atlanta. If you're from rural Mississippi, that's where you want to start your business. But the reality is that you could be a great person, but the community that you're trying to operate in may not embrace you, may not support you. The schools within your community may not be the right schools for you or your children. And so you could be what I call a good seed, but you planted in bad soil. So then what I advocate for is we all know Jesus could not perform miracles at home. They want to know what the audacity of this individual to even believe that he can do these things that he's talking about, right? So what I really push and advocate for is that really being bold and daring in terms of not being afraid to go out into the world and take and seize opportunities, no matter where it lies. Most people would not think about having their 50th birthday party in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't live in Atlanta, Georgia, but yet we have 650 people that are going to be in attendance at the party on Friday.
For Self-Made Dee
For
Brown.
Self-Made Dee Brown CEO. And so not being afraid to go where opportunity lie and to pursue those opportunities is something that's vitally important to being successful as an entrepreneur. And so we're headquartered in Memphis, Tennessee, but we don't pursue opportunities in Memphis. We have opportunities all over the country, in the Caribbean, and we don't worry about at home. If an opportunity comes and it's right for us, we'll take it. But my whole theory is that I'm going to go where I'm being embraced, where the opportunity is right for me, and I don't care where it's at. I'll go to Africa. Right. If I think there's an opportunity there. And so just being able to operate outside that comfort zone is critical to be able to really, really grow as a company.
What I hear you saying is sometimes you have to be made uncomfortable. Absolutely. To find comfort and then move. Go ye therefore and teach. Yes. And with that, you are truly exhibiting that mission work.
Yes.
You are truly a philanthropist. You are truly an entrepreneur and a motivational speaker now. What advice would you give to that little boy or that little girl who is sitting there like, well, I don't think I can do it. They told me I couldn't do it. What would you tell them?
I would tell them that the best way to get even with someone is to be successful, right? So I'll tell a quick little story that I've told before. When I was in the 6th grade, I'll just never forget this, I would think that's probably the single most defining moment just in my life. I was just a mediocre student, just average, not studying at home, bad study habits, the whole nine. And so I got put into this reading lab where every day they pulled me out my regular classes and I had to go down to the reading lab. And so I felt like embarrassed, walking that hall, saying, dang, I'm separated from my peers, my classmates, being in this special program. So my 7th grade year was the first year that I made the dean's list, or the principal's list, I mean. And so from the 7th grade on, I made all A's. And I ended up graduating high school with the highest academic GPA for an athlete, the whole nine. But it was that day that I said, you know what? I don't want to be mediocre. And so I think that one of the things that if I had to tell a young person something that could really take them far is you have to make the decision that you are not going to be average, that you're not going to be mediocre, that you have the God-given talents and ability to do whatever you want to do. You just have to combine that with what I talk about all the time, work ethics. You have to use your intellect and have to seize opportunities to maximize it.
Absolutely. Guys, this has been a fulfilling and rewarding experience to bring self-made CEO Dee Brown to the platform today to embrace and express what the culture is all about. He spoke about success. And you never heard anything about jewelry. You didn't hear about cars. You didn't hear about a lot of expensive things. You heard about appreciation. You heard about Thanksgiving and gratitude. We thank you, we salute you, and we look forward to what's next. Have a great afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.